Clayton was founded in 1878 as a result of a referendum that was held 2 years earlier that caused the split between the city of St. Louis and the rest of St. Louis County. Ralph Clayton volunteered to donate 100 acres to create a new town. He was almost 90 at that point. He had settled here in the 1830s, and his house was down at the south end of his property, which is why Clayton Road is named Clayton Road. The next door neighbor, Martin Hanley, gave a few additional acres, which he set out as Hanley's addition to Clayton, and he named the streets Lee and Jackson, which reflected his Confederate sympathies in the Civil War that had taken place. They laid out the streets and named them for the townships of the county: Merrimack, Bonham, Carondelet, and so on. Judson Bemis, who owned a large company that made cotton sacks for corn and for wheat, decided to lay out the remainder of the north end of Ralph Clayton's farm as the Bemis addition to Clayton. It was difficult to sell these lots, and Judson Bemis eventually turned the development over to his brother Stephen because it wasn't going anywhere. And Stephen decided that the lots were too large, so he re-subdivided it and called it Bemiston. And he persuaded the county fathers to rename St. Louis Avenue, which was named for St. Louis Township, as Bemiston Avenue, which would lead right into his subdivision. It finally became a viable neighborhood when the streetcar line was built out Pershing Avenue. Once people had access to downtown, then it was possible to live here and work downtown. A lot of prominent people who were living here: judges, lawyers, heads of businesses, people who were socially prominent. Also, Ernest Hemingway's sister-in-law from his first marriage to Hadley Richardson lived right in this neighborhood at the corner of Kingsbury and Hanley Roads. It's hard to visualize this neighborhood today because almost all the historic houses have been torn down. And the one reason why I wanted to feature this house at 225 Linden is that a series of conscientious owners have made sure that this house was saved.
It was different than any other house I'd ever seen. It was antebellum-ish, it was different, it was warm. It did not occur to me to tear down an incredible house and build something else.
This is what really gives you an idea of what turn-of-the-century Clayton would have looked like just after the World's Fair. Today, we're always worried about accessibility, but in those days, the more steps you could have, the more impressive it was. So we have this 2 flights of steps to get into the house, one in the garden and one to get up to the level of the porch. At this period, people wanted to see who was coming past the house. Usually that would be somebody that was a friend of theirs that they could talk to. People could join them on the porch and for conversations. And it really was a way of building neighborhoods.
There has to be an appreciation for history, the old and the new. But architecture is a way for us to honor the past and keep it here with other houses that are different.